It's important to get on the right track with operations tasked with an old shore treatments. They are your main clients. This module explains the relationship between SCAT and the shore-based operations, such as the perspectives and communication styles differ between a SCAT's technical specialist and that of an operations supervisor. As well, people of coastal communities, the receiving end of an oil spill, have different perspectives on its consequences. As a SCAT member, you could be the ambassador for incident management if met in the field by inquisitive community members during your assessments. This module takes about 10 minutes to complete.
Shore operations, such as division supervisors and their task force leaders, do not need the technical field data and scientific explanations that SCAT gathers in the field. They just need to know where, when, and what to do for a particular oiled shore segment. This is provided in the Shoreline Recommendations form that's developed and written in the Environmental Unit and approved by Unified Command and attached to the Incident Action Plan and then forwarded to the appropriate division supervisor for the next day's work. When you meet a division supervisor or a task force leader undertaking shoreline cleanup in the field, give them guidance, but keep it simple and don't lecture. The SCAT process and products should fit the spill conditions, be as simple as possible, yet comprehensive enough to address anticipated issues and concerns of shore treatments. SCAT should not keep operations waiting for their instructions and directions. When delays occur, operations may get the information and needs on their own and may self-direct. The challenge of SCAT is to get ahead of operations so as to support them. This only requires to be a few days ahead of the overall operations. This short video gives a taste of the shoreline work that can be done, generally wet, messy, and laborious. As already explained, the SCAT assessment process generates site-specific recommendations on resource protection and cleanup methods for each oiled shore segment. These segments are combined within the divisions. Divisions are the responsibility of supervisors to manage all operations therein, including engagements with SCAT. The responsibility needs to be acknowledged and respected. As per the Incident Command System protocol, you are not operations supervisor. That is, they do not report to you. The reporting path, referred to as chain of command for operations, is from the bottom up. So remember that SCAT coordinates their work in the field at the division level with the division supervisor. SCAT activities and communications includes work done at the incident command post as well as in the field. For example, a division supervisor may show up at the incident command post to get their assignments, but not necessarily. SCAT members are often an informal link between the incident command post and operations. This is not a supervisory role. Under the ICS protocol referred to as unity of command, each person only has one supervisor, that is a boss, for accountability and reporting. SCAT is not one for operations. For large oil spills, it's often the first time a division supervisor has taken on this role to oversee cleanup activities of oiled shores. Understanding and interpreting the shoreline recommendation forms is a challenge. It is good communications that foster trust and compliance. So it's highly recommended that you meet with operation personnel in the incident command post and in the field to address cleanup recommendations, leeways in implementing them, and concerns raised by agencies, First Nations, and others. Spot check for compliance with cleanup recommendations, best management practice, and effectiveness to achieving overall agreed endpoints, and respond to requests and questions. It comes as no surprise that operations and SCAT personnel are cut from a different cloth. The former wears a hard hat and coveralls, the latter a toque and cargo pants. There's a difference, perspectives, and missions as listed. As a field SCAT, your challenge is to bridge between planned intentions and work outcomes. Sometimes it's just a matter of getting the right personality to be a SCAT member. If there is a clash of personalities in the field, that's the role of the SCAT coordinator working with operations to resolve. It's important to monitor field relationships, ensure that acrimonious ones do not fester. For a large, complex, and widespread oil spill, a special position may be established called the SCAT Operations Liaison, or just shortened as SCAT Ops. The reason is that when SCAT members visit a division intending to do shore assessments, they are often pulled aside by the division supervisor to discuss current treatment efforts, such as, are we doing it correct? Is this enough? SCAT Ops takes on this interaction role, using prior SCAT data from their forms and shoreline treatment recommendations to guide their engagement. This allows the SCAT field teams to focus on their assigned shoreline. SCAT Operation Liaison have operational experience but also are versed in SCAT. As the term liaison means, they should be good at bridging the communication and perspective gaps. SCAT Operation Liaison people are hard to find, but they are becoming more available with SCAT training linked with operational experience, and vice versa. There can be a marked difference in perspectives by anybody having extensive field experience in either a spill operations or SCAT on the consequences of a marine oil spill. Those that have been at very large spills, such as the Deepwater Horizon or the Exxon Valdez or Prestige, may discount the consequences and concerns of a small incident by a coastal community or the public. As such, it's very important to read the community and public perspectives and not discount the concerns, even if you feel they are misinformed. SCAT members are essentially social ambassadors for incident management. It's not all about science and technical matters. Try to foster hope and confidence. Also monitor each other to make sure that they are doing that and they have a sense of empathy. If you meet a coastal community member on the shore when you're doing your work, take the time to listen to their concerns. And keep in mind that they will have a different perspective.